Hello, I'm Tanya. Today on Tanya Makes, we are making one of my favorite things. We are making bread, focaccia. I like focaccia too because if you get really angry, you can be like, hey, focaccia. All right, so focaccia day. I'm very excited about this because I love bread, obviously. I'm trying to give it up, and yeah, that's not working. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a biga, B-I-G-A, biga. I think it's just because you want it to fester. So you're mixing basically a cup of flour, cup and a half of water, and some yeast. And you're gonna feed the yeast and let it sit, and it's gonna bubble and fester, and that's where all the flavor comes from. The death of a billion yeast creatures. I'm so sorry. But it's so worth it. All right, so we need water. Oh, and I wanted to clean my kitchen for you today, so I put out some decorative fruit. So there's a tip. Clean kitchen, add fruit. Then I'm gonna feed it with some yeast, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons. Sprinkle 1, 2, and then 1/4. And then I stir in a cup of flour, like that. It smells yeasty. Yeah, it smells yeasty, but like good yeast, like yummy yeast. Oh God. So now basically I'm just making a slurry, and I'm gonna stir out all the lumps, and I'm gonna just go about my day and let this sit for like 3 hours. You can do it 8 hours or up to 16 hours. So if you remember the night before that you want bread, you can make it then. I'm just gonna stir here for a while.
So this is what the biga looks like when it's ready. It's got lots of bubbles and it's fluffy. It could even go further. You could push this all the way to 11. It smells sour and delicious.
So now is the fun part with this focaccia. I have my bubbly, fermented, festered biga, and I'm just gonna pour that in here. There are all sorts of interesting sounds that happen when you make bread. It sounds very alive? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so I've got that in there. Then I've got 2 cups of flour. Oomph. Push that in there. I don't know if you can hear my son screaming in the background. He's playing video games. And this is when I get frustrated, but I'll just let it out. Okay, now this part sounds like a lot. It's like 2 teaspoons of salt, but you need salt for flavor. It's 2 teaspoons of flavor and a little bit of sugar. Put that in there, raise this up, and mix. It's doing the work for me, so I can just hang out. I can just look at stuff. And I'm gonna let it do the work for about 5 minutes. I could film this entire 5 minutes, but that would be a lot. See you in 5.
Minutes later.
Okay, it's ready. It's been 5 minutes, for real. And this is what you want. You want it to like fall off the hook. It's like off the hook. You want it to go, ooh. You don't want a mound of bread for this. I don't know why. They don't tell you why in recipe books. They just say do it and you just do it. So now I'm gonna put it in a bowl that I've oiled heavily with olive oil. You can see my pretty bowls. How much olive oil did I put in there? Shit ton. I don't know. Let's put a line in there. And now, let's see. I'm gonna attempt to get this out of here. It's so sticky. There's some of the good body sounds. Oh. Okay. This will work out, which I need because if I'm going to eat a whole loaf of bread tonight, then I need to burn some calories. Okay. Oh gosh, it smells so good. I love fresh bread. People are so afraid of bread right now, and that's, I mean, you can be afraid of it, but there's just something about it. So, got my dough in here. Then I'm gonna stick my hands in. Oh, feels good. And I'm kind of trying to turn it over, just get some of that oil. Can you see this? Oh. This is Mama's playtime. Gosh, that sounds bad. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap that I've also smeared with olive oil, and I'm gonna let it rise. Olive oil. So this has been rising for the last hour, and look, it's huge. It smells so good. Okay, so now we take this off, and we're gonna rise it again. We're gonna rise it, we're gonna raise it. You gotta put a bunch of olive oil. How much? Shit ton. About 3 tablespoons. This uses a lot of oil. Now I've gloved up because I'm gonna be on my iPad later and I don't wanna have olive oil streaks all over my iPad when I'm narrating. But otherwise, just use your hands. It's good for you. Ooh, so I got this all smeared. This is the fun part. You have kids help. Or just enjoy the fun yourself. And then pour this in. Ah, so pretty. Get all that goodness. And then I'm gonna gently just kind of pull it and tug it. And then we're gonna give it another hour to rise. This is not easy. This takes work, but it's gonna be really so delicious. You're gonna be glad that you spent all this time and effort making focaccia. One more hour. This is my favorite part of focaccia, where you get to dimple it. So it's been rising, rising, about an hour. If you hear weird sounds in the background, my daughter's putting a puzzle together. So, fun things happening. I have this beautiful bread. It's fluffy, it's gorgeous. And now I'm gonna get into it. So I'm dipping my fingers in some olive oil because I'm gonna make little divots like this, but be gentle. Bloop, 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 bloop. It helps if you make sound effects. Bloop, bloop. Oh, so pretty. You don't want to deflate it, but you just want to make some little spaces that will be olive oil nuggets. And you put more olive oil on here. How much? A shitload. Then sprinkle with salt. Oh, this makes it so good. Oh, that might be a little much. And then rosemary. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I can't tell you, it's so pretty. Then finally, after 8 hours of all this work, I'm gonna put it in the oven, cook it for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna eat it. All right, so I've got focaccia with boursin cheese and sun-dried tomatoes, because yum. I've got some wine. Just a little bit more. Taste that. So, I took it out of the oven while it was still hot because I can't help myself. I just want to see how it is. It's golden brown and fluffy on the inside. I'm telling you, sometimes food is so good, and sometimes bread is even better. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna take. I can't even finish my sentence. So good. Amazing. I can't recommend this enough. Happy day. It's like 5 minutes later. I'm still eating this.